Back on NSN Daily, it is Hall of Fame weekend for the Wolfpack as they host Idaho State tomorrow in the home opener. And one of the Hall of Famers is with us right now, Dontay Moch, the preeminent defensive star of the great 2010 team, joins us right now. Chris will go in depth on your career. The numbers are staggering, but there's one anecdote that I have learned that I would like to confirm. Did a tackle on the San Jose State offensive line actually quit in the middle of a game because he was tired of trying to stop you?
Yes, sir. Mid-game. It happened. It is not
That's incredible. Yes. I don't think I've ever heard of that in football.
Yeah, sometimes you got to take a career.
I mean, you had to feel pretty good at it.
Oh, it was definitely an ego booster. It was something that helped push me to the next tempo.
So you told us right before we started taping that you had 27 Division I full ride scholarship offers. So what was it about Reno that drew you here? And then obviously it was a very good decision in the long run.
Man, going through that process of recruitment, going to college, it was a beautiful process. And to have all those 27 scholarships, it was academic, track, football, a little baseball, and some odd sports, lacrosse. I was on a tennis team a little bit, in gymnastics, so it was different. Nevada, it was my 26th visit. It was a beautiful time, and when I came out here, I was connected. I enjoyed it. I committed with alt right then and there, and I came back and I prepped myself to become a Wolfpack, and it was the best decision of my life.
You played on the 2010 team. It's referred to as the Dream Team.
Yes.
I did not have the privilege of covering that team. It was before I came to Northern Nevada.
I'm sorry to hear.
But now, like Cap and Vi and you guys are going into the Hall of Fame. What was that like on the bus, in the locker room, on the practice field?
The Dream Team in general, though, that class, that year before, the year of, the build up for it was something that it was passion, it was drive. We all came in together, we all sacrificed, we all went through the transitions, the changes, and that bus ride, that transition from us becoming entry-level Wolfpack into becoming the alpha Wolfpack that we were, the Dream Team. That was the year that we did it, and emotions and feelings, everything was just through the roof for us, and it was definitely a time. Remember, I still have that paper from the Dream Team day, the Wolfpack day. It's still in my office at home.
What did you expect when you came to Nevada before you ended up becoming a Hall of Famer, an NFL player, and a graduate, and a top 10 team in the nation? Like, what were your expectations coming here as a football player, and how did you overachieve those?
Honestly, when I came in here, it was going into my second year ever playing football itself, and I didn't know what to expect. I was still learning the sport in general, and I was understanding it and trying to get a grasp for it, but I saw an opportunity in Nevada where it was a young rising organization for football-wise, and when I met Cap and Vi, Virgil Green, and all the other guys that were here, Luke, Brandon, all of those guys it was just it was a good connection to field, and to also have a few other guys that I competed against throughout the year, i.e. stats-wise on max preps, my senior year of football and stuff, and seeing them there coming here and committed. It was a beautiful camaraderie of guys that came together that year, and it was great, man. I can't complain.
What are the most vivid memories you carry with you? Like the real crystal clear, never going to forget moments when you were wearing the silver and blue?
Man, first was getting that striker on my helmet. That was my years in. That was a big thing to accomplish, to get that striker down the middle of that helmet and to be gone. And then secondly, it was becoming the first ever Defensive Player of the Year for Nevada and conquering that for myself, and to produce the way I did and keep it going there. It was a beautiful thing. Those are the two aspects that bring right in the first thing people say into me. There's a lot of other memories in there, but those are two that come to mind.
I do want to just point out some numbers real quick. Most forced fumbles in the history of the Western Athletic Conference. 22 tackles for a loss and 8.5 sacks in the 2010 season alone.
Yes, sir.
62.5 tackles for a loss in your career. That's the most in school history, and the second most sacks ever in your career at Nevada,
yes,
30. That's a lot of numbers, but like for my job, when you see those numbers all the time, they all kind of run together. Those jump off the page. Those are outliers. They spike off the graph. Do you ever reflect on those? Do they Do they speak to you now, or is it more just memories, people, competition?
It's more memories for me myself in competition with people I had back then, but also at the same time, a lot of my youth in my college and my pro clientele that I train nowadays, they bring it up. They ask about it. They ask us.
30 sacks is a lot.
Yes, sir. Yes, it is. Reminiscing is a beautiful thing. I love the vibe it gets from it. I love the energy from it, and going back and taking that energy and telling back my story from my perspective is a wonderful thing. And I can't lie. I love reminiscing. I'm a talker, so I cannot pretend.
You were always known for your speed. What did you run at the combine? What was your 40-yard dash time?
40-yard dash when I broke the record was a 4.4 electric at 280.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Was that what you were shooting for?
No.
That's like elite running back, elite wide receiver, and you're running it at 280.
Well, I was trying to shoot that same goal from the year before when I dropped the 4.2 at Nevada Pro Day. So it was a goal of mine, but I put on a lot of weight to keep that speed in, to try to utilize a new position into my 4th year of ever playing football. So I enjoyed it. I loved it. It was great.
So take us to when you got the call that you were going into Nevada's Hall of Fame. This was the first year you were eligible, which shows how elite of a player you were and how much the Wolfpack valued your contributions here. I believe Rhonda Lindeen is the one who makes the calls, but okay, you're on the phone and you get that call going into the Wolfpack Hall of Fame. I guess what were you feeling when you got that?
Well, honestly, I was in the gym, and I was in the gym with my guys, and we was just getting it in, and she gives me a call and she lets me know that I'm going to be getting inducted into it. I'm a nominee basically, and that was a beautiful thing because I just had got word just a few months ago that I was eligible to become it my first year in, and for them to induct me in the Hall of Fame, it's a beautiful, beautiful call, and I enjoyed it. It made me throw around a little extra weight.
How many sports you play in high school? 17?
I tried just about every sport at my high school, 16 to be exact.
Okay, 16 sports in high school. At what point did you realize you were maybe a better athlete than the rest of the kids?
There's never a point that I realized I was better than them. I just felt like I had a little bit more heart, a little bit more go, a little chip on my shoulder, but not in a negative aspect, just that I wanted to become the top dog, i.e. the alpha or the best in that, i.e. sport, that category or that competition. Doesn't matter.
But how old were you when that awareness was?
This was about, I want to say my sophomore year when I was blessed to go to Hamilton High School, and I realized that I like sports. And before that, I was kind of a bookworm. I was into my comics. I wasn't striving for that. But when I realized that I was athletically gifted, I started playing around with it.
So comics, do you have are you a Marvel guy?
Oh man, Spider-Man all the way. Come on now, Venom is my guy. My whole back tattoo is all about it. Listen, there's no way about it.
I don't want to embarrass you. We're not taking shirts off here.
I'm gonna keep it on. I'm gonna keep it on.
Wow, Venom. So you like the Tom Hardy Venom?
Yes, I do.
Number 2 coming out?
I tell everybody. The transition into it is different.
Yeah.
It's going to allow you to have a more feel for it, but I like the aggressiveness aspect.
I could see that. I mean, you're like a pretty mild-mannered guy off the field,
sir.
but I imagine when you get on the field, you
just
turn
don't
into
tick
Venom.
me off.
There you go. There you go.
Yes, sir.
Inferno Performance, an incredible journey you've had with that is, that's a work of yours, something you've created. Tell us about that.
So Inferno Performance is my business, my company. I created it, I started it. It originally started from Dontay's Inferno. I took the aspect of which as Dontay's Inferno, the 7 stages, and I built my design from that. So every level, you have 7 stages to go to. There's 7 stages to get through. I have a health and wellness supplement line. I have meal preps. I have my own recovery aspect, my locations as well. I built it up from one thing to another and just kept growing it to become a one-stop shop. And these past years, it's been a beautiful dream of mine to utilize and help other people conquer their dreams. So I'm just trying to bring elite pro training to your day-to-day people and allow them to become the best gladiator that they are.
Unfortunately, you guys had some flooding over there in Arizona. It hit your house, it hit your gym. You guys had set up a GoFundMe to kind of help you try and rebuild. You do a lot for the community. You foster kids. You do a number of things training athletes. Just tell us through that journey that you've been through with the flooding and how people can help if they want to reach out. So
literally just before everything happened, about 2 years ago, I extended my property line and pushed it all the way back to be a full homestead corporation with my own private gym on the backside. 4 weeks ago, it was a big Arizona monsoon. It hit us hard and heavy. My entire property went under 5 feet below. I lost just about everything on my property. That's home, gym, farm, inside, outside. And we're keeping it positive and forward. But yes, we set up a GoFundMe to help us progress forward because our home insurance pulled out and said they would not cover us. So we're dealing with FEMA.
All right, if you want to support the Hall of Famer Dontay Moch, go to GoFundMe.com and just search Dontay Moch. It pops right up. That was awesome. Really,
Appreciate that.
really glad to have
Thank
you with us.
Thank
and
you.
congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Yes,
All right,
sir.
coming up next, we'll have our high school athlete of the week, and we'll talk pro football. That's next. Stay with us.